Everyone's heard about the masterpiece cake shop, Mr. Jack Phillips, who refused to make a wedding cake for a gay couple. I didn't hear about the story until just 2 days ago, and just recently, God laid in my heart, as the senior pastor of God's Army, to reach out to Jack Phillips and to let him know that he would be making the wedding cake for Jesus and his bride. The marriage supper that we're expecting as Christians, God has chosen Jack Phillips to make the cake. But the problem is this: I am the one that has to go and order the cake and pay for the cake as a pastor, as for God's Army. But the thing is, Jack Phillips cannot make any cakes. According to what was passed down by the Civil Rights Commission, that if he makes any further wedding cakes, he would have to make cakes for the gay marriages as well. So that's why Jack Phillips hasn't made any wedding cakes in a very long time, and that's why it's affected 40% of his income, because most of it has to do with his wedding cake. So now, if Jack Phillips chooses, if God speaks to Jack Phillips pertaining to making the wedding cake for Jesus and the bride, for the expected marriage supper that we read about in scriptures, which most people would say it's not here on earth, but I say different. If he makes this cake, he would be defying the laws of the land in making this cake. He would end up doing what Daniel did when King Nebuchadnezzar, Babylonian king, passed a decree, and Daniel broke the law. You see, Jesus broke the law, Moses' law. And if God speaks to Mr. Jack Phillips, and calls him to make this cake in breaking the law, you can sure to expect, if Jack Phillips makes this cake for God's wedding, he makes any wedding cake, you can expect that a lot of the people that are against what is being fought in the Supreme Court by Jack Phillips against the Civil Rights Commission of Colorado, you can expect that there's going to be a lot of turmoil here in the U.S. So if God speaks to Jack Phillips, I will be buying a cake from Jack Phillips for the marriage supper, God's wedding.